When it comes to which muscle groups contribute the most to an aesthetic and attractive physique, the biceps are definitely among the top of the list. The biceps, when well developed, will help contribute to the overall fullness of the arm and creates a prominent peak when flexed. But despite the biceps being probably the most trained muscle by most people, it's also one of the more stubborn muscle groups to develop. Why is this? Well, mainly because aimlessly picking up a dumbbell and curling it likely isn't going to be enough to provide you with the biceps development you're looking for. Instead, you need to pay close attention to how exactly you're performing your biceps exercises and use a more methodological approach when training them. Take this video of me curling for example. If you can't spot at least 2 of the mistakes I'm making, then chances are you're probably doing one of them, which might very well be the mistake sabotaging your growth. Therefore, in this video, I'll go through 5 of the most common mistakes people make that hinders biceps growth. The first and probably the most common mistake is letting other muscles take over and steal tension from the biceps during your curling exercises, which is something that I was unknowingly doing for a very long time. And the 3 main culprits for this are the front delts, upper traps, and forearms, but luckily these can all be quickly fixed with simple tweaks in your form. You can easily tell if your front delts are taking over if your elbows move forward as you curl, although a few degrees of movement is normal and expected during a curl since the biceps also weakly assist in shoulder flexion. Once it becomes excessive is when it becomes a major problem since it takes tension away from the biceps. So what you want to do instead is lower the weight and ensure that you're keeping your elbow locked in place and pinned to your side throughout the curl like so, which will allow your biceps to take on almost the entire load and minimize the involvement of the front delts. Another option if you're still struggling with this is to perform the curl with your back and elbows against the wall, which will physically force your elbows to stay locked in place. The next muscle, the upper traps, is a little more subtle to catch, but it's just as common. You can tell if your traps are taking over the curl if you're shrugging your shoulders up towards your ears every time you curl. This once again takes a lot of the tension away from the biceps and is an indication that you should probably lower the weight. Instead, you want to depress your traps by bringing your shoulders down and away from your ears before your curl, and keep them in this depressed position throughout the movement. Doing so will instantly shift a lot of the tension back to the biceps. And finally, letting your forearms take over happens when